sorry. I just had to eat this chocolate real quick.
No,
yes, it's a necessity.
I get it. That will come in about an hour or so, 2 hours for me. And then I will be like doing the worst thing you're supposed to do, which is not eat chocolate right before bed, which is exactly when I want it. And so that's when I eat it. But I try to keep it
affect
to
you
just
adversely?
I try to stick to it just on my moon cycle is when I'm like, you know what, just let it be. This is just how it is. No, it's like really bad for your like skin and stuff, like just like that sugar right before bed. Cause like I forget all the exact, well, first of all, eating right before bed isn't good in any statement of anything. You're supposed to wait a good couple hours before you go to bed. You want your body to like digest.
I heard you like dream better if you.
Yeah.
Because your body has more time to like process things while you sleep if you like haven't, if it's not working to digest.
But in particularly sugar right before bed, it just, there's nowhere for it to go. So it's not really good.
It goes into my happiness, like straight into the happy jar.
Yeah, no, I get it. Me too. But I've worked really hard over the last like couple years to really like cut down the amount of sugar I have. So I have like made slight switches in my chocolate, like getting dark chocolate things, like and those kind of things,
instead of the other ones,
which is a little bit better for you. There is actually a little bit more of a benefit to dark chocolates than there is milk chocolate. So making those little switches help. But if I could have it my way, I would eat pounds, my weight in chocolate every week. Like, I love it.
Oh my goodness. You know, as a kid, I didn't really like chocolate as much. Like, I like when I was younger, like I liked white chocolate, and I didn't really like dark chocolate. Now but my favorite was always milk chocolate. So like, and I feel like now my favorite is milk chocolate, but then I would go for a dark chocolate, and then I would go for like a white chocolate. Like it's just everything switched.
Yeah. Is my glasses make too much of a glare?
No, and I love it.
Okay. And then I think I'm just gonna wear them this episode.
Is their shirt sparkly purple?
No, it's gray actually. And it
Sparkle
says
gray.
I'm not bossy, I'm the boss.
And it looks like a disco ball. That's right.
It's a little itchy on the inside because they didn't put a lining like over the stitching for all the sequins. So you can kind of feel that like plastic sequence through the shirt. So I don't wear it that often.
It's not the most comfiest thing.
No, but it's it's light, and I literally just had to go to ship your soaps. And then I had to make a run to the salon. So, yeah. So I had to do that. And it was so humid right now. And I just was like, I don't want to wear any clothes outside, but I have to because that's like, you know, society wants you to. So
annoying, like society rules and shit. I get it.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got to put on clothes. And this is actually really light. Like, even though it's just, and it's not even, I shouldn't say itchy. You can just feel the seams. Like you can feel the seams of everything, I guess. So imagine like the lining that you feel like along your shirt, like all over the front of you. Like it's a different feeling.
Yeah, it's not, I would do like a liner. Like, do you have a good like?
Yeah, I feel like I should just like flip the shirt inside out, measure it, cut like a fabric, and just like sew it to the inside so that it just like has like a
even better. Yeah, I was just thinking like wear 2 shirts, but like if you can sew it and get that whole thing.
Yeah. Did you see my little set that I made for summer camp?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's like a tie-dye top and bottom, but it was a tie-dye t-shirt. So like I got
So
it
you
at
made it into a
Goodwill
top
and
and a
I was just
bottom.
like, I don't know, like I feel like it's one of those shirts that was a little too long since I wear a lot of high-waisted tops or pants. I've been kind of trying to steer away from like super long tops.
Right.
And it was a little long, but it wasn't quite long enough for it to be obvious that you could do a top and a bottom. So I like cut it in the intention of I'm going to make a crop top. And when I cut it, it was just like the slightest too short because if I barely lift my arms, like it was like nipples. Like so I was like, okay, I can't like obviously I could wear like pasties and just wear it as a vibe of it that being that, but that wasn't really what I was going for. So then I put the bottom part on and I was like, all right, I think I can actually achieve this if I get some really thick elastic. So I just bought some really thick elastic and put it on the top and bottom side, sewed them together. And oh, actually, this is a good story to tell you. Remember that shirt that I wore with the Sea World and we were talking about how we need to put fuck on it? I did that.
Yes.
So I have fuck like over Sea World and it's fuck has like the butterflies attached to the letters. Like it's like the most prettiest like fuck. Well, I had the negative. So like taking that word out and using it, I had like the cutout iron out. So I put that on the back of the tie-dye top. So I made it like a set. It was sick. It's sick. I'll have to.
That's so cool.
Like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to see a picture. Is it
I
on
put
your
it in the
Instagram?
Discord, so I'll have to like see if I have the video
Okay,
still on my phone and send it to
I
the
will
Telegram.
look back in the Discord to find this because that sounds fucking
I think
epic.
I put it in the creative. Like I think I just put it in the get creative. And if
I think
not,
that's
I'll
one of
look
the
through my
channels
phone.
that
If I
definitely
still
has it.
have the video, I'll send it to you because it's a good, cute little video. But yeah, I love it, and I got a couple compliments on it, like in person. I wore it at summer camp, but then I eventually switched from just wearing the top and my swirly jeans in the night because it got cold. But yeah, it's
that's hot
one of my. And I did it so that it was like rough, like so like I made it so the seam was on the outside. Like I didn't make it pretty. Like I wanted it to look like it was like edgy and like like the scraps kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that was the vibe.
Wanted people to know that you did this shit.
Yeah, well, and I feel like the whole like alternative grunge like edgy type of like design isn't done as much, and if it is done, like only select people are into it. So I kind of like it. Like I just think it's a vibe.
Yo, I always loved like cutting shit up, putting those pins on, you know, those like studs and the spikes, like putting that shit on everything and like taking shit out, like fraying it up, like fucking it up, ripping your shirts. Like I used to always wear branches and I'll like just cut that shit up.
Yeah.
It's it is a lifestyle.
Yeah, there was actually one time there was a guy at a bar or at a show that we were at that was at a bar thing, and he had his shirt. He had like literally took a t-shirt and like cut it all the way up, but literally like sewed it up with safety pins. Like there were so many safety pins. Yeah. And I thought for sure it was like some designer shirt. Like so I was like, dude, your shirt is sick. He's like, thanks, I did it. And I was like, no shit. And he was like
next level. Yeah.
So I was like, I need a picture with you with your shirt because like that's sick. Like I love it so much. Like, are you cool if I try to replicate that? He's like, no, dude, do it. Like I just ripped the shirt by accident and I didn't want to get rid of it because it's like one of my favorite shirts. So I just did this and I'm like, that's amazing. Like I love it so much. So I have a picture of me like standing next to this guy like this because I'm just like
get the pattern and everything.
Yeah. I haven't done that yet. So this is a good like mental refresher of like things I need to
do. Maybe next Creatrix you we could like check out some fucking clothes too. Cause I did like I used to do a lot of that and like I just like haven't been doing anything like that like as of late, but I have all these like what I kind of want to do is like get some fabric paint and like just like go with some t-shirts.
I love
Yeah,
fabric
because like we
paint.
used to do that as kids. We would have the little stencils and we would fabric paint. But I want like sparkle. I want like a sparkle one. I just want a fucking sparkle 5. Some shit.
So me and a friend got like the iron-ons that were like glittery and then fabric paint. So we
Oh,
would literally like iron on the words and then fabric paint around them so that you would get like this double security. And it like, it looks so sick. I wish I could find those sweatpants. Like I know I didn't get rid of them. They're somewhere, but
oh
they're
my
so dope.
god.
We were like
Yo.
18, like intelligent as fuck. Like I can't believe we were
Like,
like, yeah, so just like outline it and then it will be like there forever.
dude, like you're a fashion designer. Like,
I'm
straight
just a
up.
creative. I do so many different things. I feel like I've done every different arts and craft that there is in the craft store.
You're a craftmeister. I'm gonna start calling you Craftmeister Blue.
I've been joking. I joked with Sadie and Juliet that I'm like their Swiss Army knife. Like I just know how to do so many different things. Like if you need to know how to do something, I probably know how to do it. And if I don't, I will figure it out. If it's something
I
within my
love that.
means, I can figure it out.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's hot. Like, yo, because I had the idea too of like getting clothes and like secondhand clothes that like and just like fucking them up, like making
Yeah,
them
dude.
hot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And there's like
Reselling it possibly, and just
and then
like
as soon as
having
you,
it be a
because I've
thing.
thought about doing it, and as soon as I like think about doing it, there's like a bunch of people pop up doing it. Like not necessarily people I know, but just like just comes across my life. And I feel like I used to just take those things as like, no, I shouldn't do it. And that's why
No,
I
you
haven't done so
should do
many things in my
it.
life. So yeah, so I've definitely with the switch of Divine Cortex Salon to Divine Cortex Studios, I'm hoping to like within the next couple of years kind of just like
Yes, expand your
sneak out
shit.
little like things that's like, hey, I do this thing. Like I can do this for you
Yes.
too. Like it's just I haven't figured out how to start rolling out certain things, but like that's kind of like one of those things that I really want to figure out because I just know how to do so much shit. I was talking about that with a friend over the weekend. Like he has a clothing brand and I'm like, dude, if you need this, I know how to do that. If you need this. And then I was like, I just wish that I could be like the idea guy and like the support guy for other businesses. Like, I don't even necessarily want to be the shining star. I just want to be the one that's like, yo, I do this, this, and this for this company. I do this, this, and this for this company. I do this. Like, I just love like the diversity of that instead of being
Diversify.
like, I do this one amazing thing. Like, I just don't have that in me to do that. Like to be
You're a
focused on just one
multi
thing. Like it
focused
would just
person.
it would make me go crazy, I feel like, to
It would
get
drive you.
transfixed on like
Yeah.
one thing.
I feel very similar. Like I can definitely relate to that feeling because I often just find myself like jumping around from thing to thing. Like I can't just like if I try to do just one thing, it's like it slows me down in all the things. Like I have to just keep it whatever at the time is lighting me up, let me do that. Like let me just follow that. Let me just but there's always something like if I just try to have one thing then it's like it's a struggle, you know what I mean, with just like one thing. That's how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me personally, I think the first few years of me running my business, I think I got really fixated on like running the salon, I do hair, I do this. And like, I didn't realize that that was what was making me unhappy was the fact that I was just so
You're hyper focused
laser focused on the one thing and doing all these other things over the last year, really working for Goddess Hangs, like doing these courses for myself and doing this. Like, I mean, it's just been such an eye-opening thing that like my soul is not being fed doing one thing. Like I have to diversify the things that I'm doing because that's where I thrive is doing different things all the time. So realizing that about myself is just like, okay, so this is how we're going to pivot this. I just got to figure out how to make the first few steps. And that's why I'm using my vacation to be like the soul searching moment to kind of self-reflect and come back and be like, all right, that's how we're doing it.
Yeah, like you need a game plan and like it's cool though, because I feel like your game plan is like written in your soul, like it's written in your body. Like it's weird. Like part of you just always knows what to do. You just got to set up that space to like listen to that. So I love that you're doing that. I fucking love that you're doing that. I also feel like for me too, it's like, I don't know, if I'm here and I'm trying to do many things, it's like you still have to prioritize, because what I realize I do sometimes is like I try to do too much, and then I realize that I'm not prioritizing the things I actually have to prioritize, because I'm just keeping myself busy, just like doing something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
I totally agree with you. I feel like that's something that I am going to take inspiration from several of our, fellow quantum goddess friends, as well as even just some of the other Patreon girls, like, Hannah, who wasn't a part of the quantum goddess. I've watched her literally. It seemed like she was in the course with us. She was doing a lot of the same things we were doing with us, which was astonishing to watch. But with that being said, like, I definitely think that with that being said, I think I need to follow in like a similar pattern of like launching collections. So like, I kind of did these first 3 things as these are like my time capsule pieces. Like these are the 3 pieces that I've been kind of doing for a while. And these are the ones I'm going to put out first. But I just don't know. And I think I know what my next like thing is going to be when I get back from my vacation. And so with the vacation and that time, I'm hoping that will be enough time for me to kind of figure out and collect. All right. So I know I do all these things, but like, what's going to be this next collection? You know what I mean?
What's your next
Because I think,
thing?
so the collections will be the different skill sets, maybe if I can figure out how to incorporate that in. So like,
oh my God, I can't wait. I want everything. I don't even know what you're doing, all the things you're doing yet, but I want everything.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that a few of the things that I have had in mind for a while is just where I would need, not necessarily, I would need it to be incorporated with other businesses, because that's like part of it. So I'm hoping that maybe if I do some of the other collection launches, then I will be able to have that as like a look at all these things. And then hopefully I'll be able to like get the businesses.
Snag the collab.
Because it shouldn't be too hard. Most of them are friends, but just to make it all like work and logistically and stuff is tricky.
Like, I'm feel legit.
Yeah.
I love it. Now I'm like, okay, so, well, I guess we'll just have to wait till you come back to see what you end up feeling. But I'm really so excited to see where you go next.
Yeah. We can just keep this as part of the intro, since we kind of talked a little bit. I feel like it's still like good, decent podcast material. But if we want to do our intro here, we can just segue from that to a little intro and start this episode.
All right.
Why not?
So, why not? Let's get into it. Welcome to Cosmic Connect. I'm Frenchie.
And I'm Blue. And we're just kicking it today. Gonna talk a little bit more about some star seeds, I think, and probably go on our tangents.
Go on some tangents, live it up, connect it up.
I'm sure eventually I will figure out a better segue from after my name into what to say. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm a little awkward with that. I just like freeze, like, hey.
Like, oh yeah, we did that thing. Wait, what do we? Okay, yeah, we're here. We're good. Yep. That's always like, I think that over time, I think we're gonna be astonished at how good we get at doing things, because I feel like even from now, even from the first episode, it's like fast improvement.
Yeah, we actually remember to introduce ourselves and to talk about like how to find us. Like that's a huge improvement for us. Just remembering those things is astonishing to me that we do that each time.
We're doing fantastic, so just stick around and see the fantastic of even more. That's the
Yeah.
plan. So today we're talking about Syrians, and I don't know if we want to maybe first, if you want to cleanse me again, I'm still over here. We want to do a cleanse. We can post some cards, set the vibe up for this lovely episode we're about to create together. And yes, I'm talking to you, audience, as well, who is listening to the recording. You too are helping to create this episode through your contribution through time and space.
Yes. Absolutely.
So let's get it.
From now to any time in the future.
Mm-hmm. You're a part of it. You are a part of it. Don't forget that.
So while we're, doing our typical cleanse and card pull here, you want to do a little mini catch up with me while we're shuffling and things? How was your concert thing, meeting, event?
It was.
I'm like,
it's a concert. It's a meeting. It's like a concert, but it was like, so basically this little like VIP group from this like event that I went to, we all like kept in touch, and then we had our we kind of created this new event, but just for us to kind of like get more comfortable like performing, and kind of just stretch ourselves with our performances, but just for a very small supportive group, where like we all know each other, so it's just it was just a very cool opportunity, and like it was fucking dope. It was fucking beautiful. I got so emotional. I teared up. Like I performed it was me and Beth, like one other performer performing, and like Beth fucking killed it. Like she was singing these beautiful, like heart touching, like ballads. And then like every other song we kept taking turns like performing like one song each. So then you cut to me just doing my Frenchie thing and lighting up fires and having my rap shit. And at the end I sang, I stretched myself, and I like did more singing than I would normally do live, because sometimes I get more nervous to like sing than I do to rap. But I was like, you know what, let me just like sing this song real quick. And it was so dope. It was so beautiful. Like the group was so supportive. And like then at the end I did another thing I had never done before, which is I had this beat that I started, and I freestyle light language like on the beat. Like I've never like performed light language like on a beat like that before. And it was fucking fire. It was so cool. Like it felt so cool. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but it was like that shit was hot. That shit was fun. Like that shit lit me up. Like I'm coming here buzzing, and then this is another thing that lights me up to do. Like it lights me up so much to do this podcast with you, and it's like life is fucking fantastic, yo. Like life is fucking fantastic.
If you focus on the good things, life is of course fantastic. Like that's just, it's all perspective. Life is a huge perspective game. Huge.
Yes, and if you are just like doing the shit that you want to do, it's just so much easier to see the good in all the things. And like I'm really starting to see like I feel like it's like the fruits of my labor in just like the way that I feel about the things that I'm doing. It's completely different now than it has like ever been at any point in my life. And like it feels like this ball that just keeps like turning and like collecting more and more like joy and abundance and like good shit happening around me. And like of course some wild shit happens, because when you go all the way up, you gotta experience all the way down. That's how duality works. Like I've been experiencing the whole spectrum, but like I feel myself just being catapulted like to more joy and betterness and happiness. Like it's like, what the fuck? Like cool, like dope. I'm just keep doing what I've been doing. I'm just not gonna let myself stop doing what I've been doing. That's it.
Right. Oh wow. Well, I feel like temperance is It's a pretty interesting card. That's why I'm like
Oh
sitting
my
here like,
goodness.
the up and down was
Yeah.
what got me because of how
And
the
duality
angel is
and
holding the cups,
mhm.
it's flowing to the cup,
Mhm.
but it doesn't look like it's, falling out. It could be magically going up too. I mean, it's very fluid of a
Uh-huh.
pour.
It's a
So
very
that's why I just
fluid.
was like smiling here,
Oh
like,
my gosh, that
wow.
I can't even. And know what's crazy too is like temperance, like the card, the zodiac sign that corresponds with that card is Sagittarius, and it was just at the time of us recording this, not by the time
Yeah,
it airs, but at the time of us recording this, it's a
it's
full moon in Sagittarius
Sagittarius.
that
Yeah.
just happened, and we get the Sagittarius card, and we're talking about temperance, which is pouring it out, balancing it out,
Yeah.
getting, and I feel like it's water too, so it's like emotional balance and synergy within yourself, and like,
Yeah, like they could easily have positioned this angel on the mountain looking down at the water, but they positioned him in the water with the mountain
mhm,
behind him. So yeah, absolutely. I feel like the water is very relevant for this.
mhm.
More than
It's so
just
cool.
the water in the cups, of course.
Ooh,
Like I feel like that is a very big statement.
ooh, yes, yes. Like literally being in water, like,
Yeah, yeah. It's his feet is one of the feet is in the water and one foot is on
mhm,
the land,
in
like,
the
which is
water and in
also
the,
a balance in a way, and also
yes, very symbolic.
instability in a way, there's some
Mhm,
balance there, but there's also some instability there, which is where you have to be balanced to keep your
mhm.
footing.
That's when you're like, thank God I got wings.
Yeah, right. He does have his wings out, like, "Don't worry about it, I got this, like, I'm
And
good."
but I love that so much because that to me that kind of is the energy of the card. It's like like it has such a healing energy to it, and such a
Mhm.
like I got you, like, there's such a very peaceful balance. There is a like a fine balance in that card, and it really does have. And again, temperance can also mean like patience. So it's like
Mhm.
divine timing, but it's like it's divine. It's angelic. Like it's in support of you. Like you're so held. You're so supported. Like
I think
just.
Jeremy and I both need to hear that, right, bud?
Mm, hmm.
Just a lot of going on.
Especially if it's like a rocky time, yeah, like that. That's when
Mhm.
temperance kind of swoops in at the dramatic time of the deck. It's like temperance is like, listen, we got you.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's beautiful. So I had a card that flew out too, and it's another like very beautiful, peaceful like energy to me, and it is card 23, Shaman.
Hmm. 23 is, no is the day that me and Jeremy celebrate our anniversary,
That's
that's
your
for us.
anniversary.
So, I love it.
Wow, big messages for you
It's a
guys.
beautiful card.
Yes.
I love that
Right?
card.
And
Wow.
get out of here, there's a full moon in the card.
Oh, wow. Come on. Get out of here. Wow.
Beautiful.
I love the greens in that card too.
Right? It's like these
It gives me
beautiful
very, very nature vibes for sure.
earthy and the rocks all balancing. It really has that like there really is like, and to me green is such a healing color, and like if we're talking about angels, like Archangel Raphael, he has this like emerald green fire that is extremely healing. Like he's a very healing um, archangel. So I always think of that when I think of green, and like just the healing power of nature and like abundance. Like it's all green. It's like life.
Is your heart chakra green?
The heart chakra is
Yeah,
green.
yeah, I thought
Yes.
so, yeah. So,
Yeah.
you
So
get
it's
that healing your heart, like,
mm-hmm.
and all of those things. Yeah, I totally, yeah.
That's beautiful. Oof, it feels like a wave of peace just came out through both of these cards. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. You know, and it always just, and since I'm, you know, kind of going through the stresses of life right now, I just have to say this, like, it just feel like, yeah, I think it said a lot that like when you're going through it, it's hard to like see the positive. Like it really is. It just seems like I don't know how this is gonna go. There's no way. Like I don't have any context on how to handle this situation right now. And so that is when life just like feels so impossible, but like ultimately like the universe is supposed to have your back, and as long as you like just allow things to go, it's supposed to work out okay. And I just like keep telling myself that, even though I'm going through that thick of that moment where I'm like, nah, it ain't gonna be like that. And I'm like, it probably will, even though it just is really hard this year right now. So if you're any of you going through it, just know it too shall pass.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, I like when you're going through it, it's like you can only focus on getting through it sometimes. And you're not going to see until afterwards of like, oh, yeah, we were supported that whole time. Everything was good. Like, I see how that worked out. Like, but when you're in the thick of it, you're supposed to feel like a little bit, but you can also still kind of just get that pat from the universe that says everything is gonna be okay. I swear, I'm seeing it from the other side, and I know that everything's gonna be like perfect for you. You know.
Yeah.
But we don't see that from our human selves.
Right. And we have now gotten in the habit of when you get into it. And so this is where I come to say, find a healthy vice. Is we have agreed tonight is a yoga and meditate night before we go to bed or hang out or do anything else. At the end of all of the tasks we need to do, that's what we're doing. That's our run to now. So
I love that.
Do something like that. Find your thing.
I love breath work, like, because I can never not convince myself to like just breathe, and it's like I swear, like I just will have the most transformational experiences from breathing, and like yoga is incredible. Like I was very consistent with yoga for a long time, and then like it was like mind blowing to me how like long I had been doing yoga, but then I would have these like emotional breakthroughs from like doing 10 minutes of breath work, and I'm like, holy shit, this is powerful shit, you know?
Yeah, Jeremy had some intense like breathing, like breakthrough moments with he like discovered Wim Hof and learned all the things and like started practicing it. And that was honestly, I think that's how he got into yoga. Like that's what made yoga interesting to him, was because of the breath work. It wasn't until I started focusing on the breath work that I actually enjoyed yoga, because before that, I hated it. I always hurt my wrist. I always felt like I was never achieving the poses, and like it just didn't feel, and like, or I felt like it wasn't really doing anything for me. Like I was so flexible that it wasn't doing the, like, you should feel this here. And I'm just like, no, I don't feel anything. Like,
like I can do 12 of these.
Yeah. But once I started incorporating the breath part and really focused on that and really incorporating that in, I noticed I am lifting up off my hands and not on my wrists. And I am, you know, staying in a position in a better way that keeps you, you know, achieving that, you know, goal of a position, you know what I mean? Like, but it isn't until you focus on the breath work really that it does anything. So.
I love that. Yeah, like when you combine these different like physical and spiritual practices that like take all these different things into account, like it's powerful. Like it's very powerful.
Yeah.
I love that. And it does kind of, it can act as that like anchor for you in those times when shit is going down. It's like, oh wait, I have this tool to like go back to and like keep me a little bit steady, to keep me like a little less anxious, like when I'm going through these turbulent times, you know?
Yeah. And it wasn't until it clicked. It you know, and we tried several times and just it never really like clicked. So just, you know, sometimes, but I mean, there's so many other things like that in life. I feel like I've tried certain foods and been like, nah. And then you try it and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Fall in love with it, and you're like, I can never live without this thing ever again for the rest of my life.
It is like different times, like you're given what you need at all times. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like there are times in your life where this is really important for you to focus on, and like you will, like your soul will guide you to the things that you have to focus on because it's gonna make sense, it's gonna feel good, like the opportunities are gonna be there. But there could be so many things that are quote unquote like good for you, but you can't do all the things that are good for you all the time. We have only so much energy to allocate, so it's like, what's your priority, like for you to focus on? Like I always believe like that's totally different for everybody, like depending on like
Yeah.
you, your life, your mission, like what are your intentions at the time. Like some
Yeah.
people might be needing to eat denser foods to help ground themselves, some people need to eat lighter foods to help like up their vibe. Like it depends. Like we're very fluid beings. It's like amazing to me. Like it's phenomenal to me how like we're just guided through all these different layers of and moving pieces that just it's all changing at all times, but we're somehow still safe. We're always still guided. Like
Yeah.
it blows my mind. It completely blows my mind.
The one thing that I think most people do need is water. If you haven't drank water today,
Facts.
drink water.
If
You
you
probably
could just
should
have
drink water. Go
one
drink some water.
practice,
Like, I'll
just
drink
one
some water.
practice,
Like, I
I'm
feel
about
like
to drink some
everyone
water
should drink
too.
some water. That's the one thing that people don't do that enough of, is drink water. I feel like you're always drinking some other crap. And I love coffee. I love tea. I have a Moscow Mule right here, a little something else. But like I still drink so much water, and I still sometimes don't achieve the amount of water I should drink in a day. And I feel like I drink so much water. And then I think about how much water I drink, and I'm like, oh dang, I should have drank a whole nother water bottle. Dang it. Like you just don't think
It's
about
intense.
it.
Like, yeah. It's like I try to be sipping on water at all times, but like I also like I freaking love coffee. Like I've cut down an insane amount from what I used to drink, but like sometimes I feel like one cup of coffee a day will like I need to drink like extra water. So then I'm like, okay, water. But like I don't know. I notice how I feel changes so drastically based on how much water I drink. Like I've had times in my life where I just was terrible at drinking water, and then I was like drinking so much that I would just always dehydrated to some extent, and like you just always feel terrible. Like, and when I would drink like insane amounts of water, like even when I was a young kid, I had this. I don't know if we want to keep this in the show, but I would basically have this like thing that I would do with myself where I would drink so much water that my pee would be clear. So I'd be like, oh yeah, like know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna like drink so much water that my pee turns clear. And I would just be like chugging water. I'd be like, yeah, we did it. And I would like, but I would notice on those times when I did that I felt so amazing. Like I felt refreshed. Like you feel literally energetically cleansed when you are like hydrated, when energy is moving through your body. Like it really is a huge deal to just like drink water. Like if nothing else, here's your reminder.
I think, like, I mean, obviously, if you want me to,
keep it, whatever.
And by all means, if Jeremy is paying attention to this, please Google this and find out. But I feel like, although, do we trust Google? No, never mind. I feel like I feel like you're supposed to actually pee clear. Like you're supposed to drink so much water that you pee clear.
You're supposed to, but like most people, it's like
yellow is the or whatever other color you're urinating. I think that's the toxins you're putting into your body. You are supposed to technically pee clear because
it's supposed to be clear. Or I read that it's like I recently actually did check up on this, and it's like sometimes if it's too clear, because this actually happened to somebody in my family, they like would drink so much water, like they would get like gallons of water and just like they just love to drink water. But then like he basically was drinking so much water that it was ridding his body of like the nutrients that he needed. So his doctor had to tell him like, yo, stop drinking water. So it is possible to do that. It is possible to do that, but like make sure you're getting your electrolytes and all those things too. But it's hard to do that. It's pretty hard to do that, but I know it's like clear to like light. Like if it's like that nice light yellow, but if it looks like yellow to like dark yellow to like freaking orange, y'all, like hydrate. You're in danger.
Yeah, for real. For real. If your urine looks like Coca-Cola, you need to drink water. Stop it right now. Like, no. But
do you smell asparagus? Do you smell your asparagus pea? Just a random question.
I mean, yes, everyone does, I think.
No, really? You think everybody does? Because I heard that only some people actually have like the receptors to smell that smell, and some people don't smell it.
That smell. Oh, it's about like if you can smell it?
Yeah, asparagus pea has a very distinct odor.
Yeah, I thought that that's like for everyone. But like you're saying,
apparently not
everyone can smell it, but they're still
not everyone can smell that.
But their piss still smells like it.
Yeah, it still does, but they just can't smell
it. I don't know. I guess I have to get asparagus and try this again because I don't know if I And yes, I will do this for science if it's necessary. No. Like, do I smell it? I don't know. I can't remember. You need to be quiet.
I know that I can. I always smell it like very immediately. Like after I eat asparagus, it's like, whoa, I ate asparagus. Like it's very strange to me. It's kind of off-putting. Like I don't know how I feel about this. Like I don't know how people.
Is there other things that make that happen too? I feel like there's other things that make that happen as well.
I feel like beets change your pee, but it doesn't bother me the way that they do. Like it feels fresh. It feels refreshing. It feels like nutrition, like coursing through my veins. That's what beets feels like. But like asparagus has, it's just like it's a very strange smell to me. And I'm like, I don't know how. And this is my personal. I don't know why we're even talking about this, but
yeah. The director says yes. Pee clear. Ha ha.
All right, folks. Yeah, I heard it here first. Your pee should be clear at all times. If your pee is yellow, drink more water.
Tangent.
I do want to start making it a point of like I want to drink like a gallon of water a day. Of like
I was going to say, I think you're supposed to drink somewhere between 64. I think 64 ounces is like the goal, like like what is like good. And I usually, if I'm good, I will drink somewhere between 66 and 88 ounces because my water bottle is 20 to 22 ounces. And if I drink, if I drink 4 of these, that is 80 ounces. So like if I drink,
okay, so yeah, because I'll be drinking like I'll chug water. I don't know if that's good to like necessarily chug it, but like I'll sip on it, but then I'll do random like I'll just need to chug an entire glass of water. Like, and I'll take a big glass and I'll be like, all right. That's what I every morning. The first thing I do is I wake up and I drink like a huge glass of water. Like,
yeah, I have to stop drinking, Jeremy. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, I forgot my water bottle. Can I have a sip of your water bottle, Jeremy? And I have to stop doing that because then I just chug the rest of his water. I'll hand him back his water bottle. I'm like, sorry, I didn't mean to. It was just,
oh my gosh,
happened. Because I'm
like come to think of it, I feel almost like the reason why I was like so like cranky in a lot of my childhood is because I didn't like drink enough water as like a child. Like I feel like I often felt physically uncomfortable because I was like not drinking enough water in my childhood. What happened?
Sorry. My oldest cat is literally just like being super cute and yelling at me. I think he just really wants my attention, but I'm, recording a podcast, bud. Can you go out in the other room? Okay.
No, precious baby.
He just keeps chatting. So I'm sorry if you have a little kitty noise.
Come chill with us on the show, sweet baby. He's cosmically connect these kitties, yo.
Dude, what are you doing? You're I don't know. I don't think I can get him on camera.
Yes, get it. Hi, baby. Hi.
What's your mouth?
What's good? You got half of... Yo, I have... My Arthur has, like, half of a mustache. Like, one side.
Lala does too. They both do.
Gwenny has, like, a little beauty mark. Those are both, like, my parents' cats. But I've been chilling with them. Arthur is one of the sweetest, nicest, like, chilling like a villain cat that I've ever met.
Gotta lay down. Okay, I don't want your nails in me. Ow.
Oh, so fluffy. They are so fluff.
Yes, he is a long-haired cat. So 19-year-old me was, or 20-year-old me, I guess, was foolish. Cat. She brought home this cat thinking, oh my God, he's so cute.
So fluff.
No, that he was a long-haired cat. I thought
Oh
he
my
was
goodness.
just a little fluffer ball, like, because he's a kitten and it's kitten fur. Like, I literally thought that was a thing. The more I got, the more I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to sign up for this. This isn't what I said.
Do you have like, do you know like good cat hair recommendation products? That was said backwards, whatever. You know what I mean?
Cat hair recommendations. So one, either you find an environmentally friendly type of lint roller, which I have found one. It's Sticky Buddies. But the problem is that you use it like it's a lint roller, and then once it's full, you rinse it off with hot water. So then you have to kind of wait for it to dry before you use it again. So if you're doing like, you know, your bed, it's going to take you some time. And
you need to have like a few of them.
And so they still work really, really well. I really want to get, there's like another thing I see all over the Instagram and whatever. It's like a comb thing. I think it's called Up Clean or Uproot or something like that. And I've thought about getting that. But the other one that I think is really just the best is the lint brush.
The lint brush.
Well,
is it the one that's like felt? Not felt, like,
yes, it's like a felty type of material, and you like have to go in a certain like direction with it.
Yes.
But I highly recommend you getting the one that comes with a like shield, and that shield pulls the hair off and it collects it at the bottom. So if you get one of those, you can actually get quite a bit done with one of those, and then use your Sticky Buddy after and get
the last bit
missed. But, you know, that's the thing is if you have long-haired animals, you kind of have to commit to having a few different things that you do to get rid of it all. Or do like us and you have all of those things. You could do all of those things, but you're still covered in hair, which is just a fact of life. I'm just like, I
think all of us with pets that don't have like the super short hair are just like, yeah, it's just gonna get you do your best. Like, for agreements, we do our best.
Yeah, right.
But that shit gets like, it gets places. But what can you do?
Yeah, totally. But I would rather him just keep the hair on his body. The hairballs is what gets me. That's like the long hair and the hair everywhere is so annoying. But like, bro, figure out how to clean yourself and not get a hairball. Like that would be great. Like that would be great. If we could figure out how the cats can stop doing that, I would love it. Love it.
Well, that can be our manifestation for...
Yes.
Our manifestation is a life with less cat hair, but same amount of cats because we love the cats.
I've told Jeremy after all of our cats pass on, we're only getting Sphinx.
Oh.
I'm done with the hair. I want only hairless cats.
You will have a naked cat.
And I want to name them all alien like names because they look like aliens.
Yeah, I'm all for this. I'm all for
Yes.
this.
I just feel like they have to have like alien, like weird, like robotic digital
Like
type.
Zeltoid.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
I
But
love that. How many naked cats are you going to have?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just one. I
Maybe like
definitely think 3 is
between one and like infinite.
I definitely am more of a dog person, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like to say that you are a cat person, it's like you are never satisfied. Like you would love having more and more and more. And I'm just not that
Mm,
girl. Like I'm not. Like so like I love pets and I think that they're amazing and I never ever want to potentially be without one. I think I'd always want a pet, but I definitely don't think that I'm like a pet person. Like it within the
mhm,
home. Like I feel like if I
mhm,
have to take care of more than one, two, like three, I have three right now. If I have to take more than that, I just feel like it's too much. It's like another job.
mhm, mhm.
So if you have the time for it and you can really dedicate to that, that's awesome. But like I don't, and I acknowledge that within myself. So like I'm just like I'm not a cat person as much as I'm a dog person. I feel like dogs,
Yes.
you can have some sort of outdoor area maybe where they could hang out, whereas cats, like, they're cool kicking it inside forever, for hours. But
Mhm.
they also still need to be,
They love to be outside too.
yeah, they still need some sort of attention. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not like a fish.
Mhm. I
So
mean, they are just loving creatures.
yeah, I definitely
I
love them. I love them. I just feel like 3 is probably my limit with them because 'cause they're just all
yes.
3 such different personalities, and that is so it's just so a lot. When I hear
Trust
did your
me.
did your family have 5? Are you at, like, your house that has 5?
So let me tell you how many cats are going on in this house that I'm staying in currently. So I have my two girls, and I similar to you. It's like I don't have it beyond me to take care of more than two cats at the time, and like especially trying to get up anyways.
Yeah.
But like when I was here, like we went from 0 cats to 5 cats when I was living with my parents within 1 year, and that was the year of the pandemic. And because there was these
Fair enough.
cats in the backyard and then they had babies and then we tried to get them fixed and but we couldn't because everything was shut down, that like there was nothing to fix cats during the pandemic, so we're just like, all right, so there's more cats and then there's more cats, and I found the baby girl. She was in the basement, like they kept like finding their way into the basement. She was like, anyway, we had all these wild cats, long story short.
Right.
Don't have to go into the whole thing, but we had 5. We went 5, 1 cat, and then a few months later, 2 cat. We had 2 more, and then a few months later, we had another one, and then a few months later, we have another one. And then I go and I take my 2 cats, and then my parents get another set of twins, so they're back to 5, just for themselves. And then before I come here, guess what? One of the wild cats just had more kittens. So we have 2 little black kittens which have been chilling with us, and they are lovely, and I believe like
See
we want to adopt them out if possible and like see if anybody wants them. One of them, out of there were 3, and one of them we were able to adopt out. So they are so freaking cute though. They are like this. They're like in that cute kitten stage, and
See, and,
ugh,
like, that's the one
I
thing I
love it.
will say is I'm a baby person. Like, baby kittens,
Mm,
baby puppies,
I
baby
mean,
animal, I'm
baby
just like,
everything is
how
cute.
they
Even
are.
baby snakes are cute. Like they go around your finger, and like snakes have always been a creature that terrified me. And like I was always so scared of snakes like since I was little.
Oh,
But like even baby
spider.
snakes are cute. You love snakes?
No, yes, I don't love them, but like they don't necessarily like I feel like they
They're
startle me. Like I'm a
neutral.
person that if I see a snake, I'm like, oh, but like I'm not like, oh my God, I gotta get out of this woods. like I'm totally like, oh, look at the snake. Like I'll get up kind of close, try to take a picture of it and shit, but like I wouldn't pick it up. So like I'm not quite on the love side. I'm like I like to watch them from a distance to a certain degree.
Dude. Like they fascinate me. Like but they stand my hair on end. And like even since I was little, I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but like literally my whole life, like we would be upstate and I would literally run from the car to the house at nighttime because I'm like, I don't want there to be a snake. And like, oh my gosh, like we were fishing one time and there was like this copperhead that was in the water. There were a few different times where there would be snakes, but there was a copperhead in the water and he was mostly just chilling. But when we saw it, like I was a grown ass adult at this point in my life, and I remember like I just hopped up and I sat on my mother's lap. Like I wrapped myself around my mother and I sat on her lap with my feet like not on the floor, and I was like, oh. Like I don't. Snakes always freak me out. Like snakes, again, fascinating, but I have such a visceral reaction to them, and I wonder if there's like something from some past life thing
Yeah.
entwined with that, or if it's just the natural thing of humans to be afraid of snakes. But like it also freaks me out because it's like it can be nighttime, but they see heat. Like they can see your entire outline of your body like clear as day when it's freaking pitch black and you can't see anything because they sense heat. Like that is
What?
terrifying to me. Yes. Does that not terrify you?
I didn't, I mean, I think I knew, I guess I didn't really think of it as it just depicted as you described it, but what?
Infrared. Infrared. And know what freaks me out too is like all these huge pythons that they
I
released in the Everglades.
scared now.
And they found these freaking snakes that were eating alligators. That were eating.
Oh, yeah.
There was one that was trying to eat a motorcycle, yo.
Dude,
Had a motorcycle.
I feel like
Are you kidding me?
I feel like there's so many people that have this story. Like literally Katie G has this story. Like I think she talked about it where like
I have a story of this too.
Yeah. So I have a story too where a friend of a friend, like literally her pet snake was sizing her up because this silly girl was sleeping with her snake.
Yes.
At night.
And yes, I've heard that my
Yeah,
friend went to art school, and one of these art school girls was like, I'm so cool and my snake loves me, and he sleeps next to me, and he loves me, and we cuddle up, and she goes to her bed, she's like,
and then it stops
eating. Like this.
And then they're like, oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with my snake. I know what's wrong with your snake. It's trying to eat your ass.
It's gonna eat you. Oh my God, why is this making me feel
like all the hair
I literally cannot
like neck, and I'm trying to like not acknowledge
it. It literally like I feel like there's a snake behind me, right? Like I
no snakes
am
are here.
like just
now
snake
I
is just something that has just freaked me out my like.
I will say that I'm the same way. I'm not as much as you about the snakes. I am the same way though about spiders. Like literally there was a jumping spider or so many people told me on Instagram when I did not need to know what kind of spider it was. I just needed it out of my home. But there was a jumping spider in my apartment over the weekend. Or
we don't like that.
Earlier this week. I don't know.
I
was freaking out. It was like Friday, I think. I was freaking out. Could not like literally it was just like you're saying, visceral reaction. Could not be in the same room as this spider. I grab my computer and I go back to the back room and I'm literally like every 5 or 10 minutes like looking, making sure I can see where it is. I'm like, if you go anywhere, I'm gonna know about it. And like I swear to you, this spider was first of all, either they're so intelligent, which probably the case, and I feel terrible how his life ended, but that thing would literally, you could hear its feet on the canvas when it would walk. You could hear it, which just would make all of my hair stand up.
It's like
And
my
then
hair
on
stand up, and
top
I've
of
never
it,
been that scared of spiders.
it would literally like back its butt up and then stare at me. Like it knew what direction I was in from where he was at, and I've now made it a boy. So there you go. But yes, it was freaking me out. I had never been around a spider like that in my life. And the whole entire time I kept saying, it's abundant. It means abundance is coming. It's abundant. Like, I'm like, it's a good thing. And I'm like, it's not a good thing. I need you out of my So yes, I understand it, but for a different, living creature on our planet, and that's spiders. I just cannot. I think it does matter for me on the size. Like, if it's a really, really small spider or a daddy long leg, I'm just gonna like bat it away. I don't want it around me. And I feel
Yeah,
like
but
snakes too. When I see little baby snakes, I'm good. But like when somebody comes around walking around at like a fair or something with like a giant snake wrapped around, I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I need to go find a way somewhere.
I'm
Like,
like, but it's so cool. But that's the thing too, because like, if I go to the zoo, I do want to go to where they have the giant snakes behind the glass, and I have my hair on my end the whole time. But it's like so, there's something so like fascinating about snakes, but they also just, it's because they like terrify me so much. And like, I don't know, much of my spiritual journey has been like relating to different animals at different times, and I feel like getting messages from animals, like that is maybe the most major way that I've gotten like signs and just understanding myself on deeper levels and understanding lessons that I feel like different animals will bring, and like signs and messages, and like from seeing different animals. So like I got acquainted with the idea of like having a shadow. Like for some cultures it's like a totem. For some it's like, your animal spirit or like an animal spirit guide. Some of them might be animals that's like you resonate as being, and some of them are just like more external ones, like being a guide for you. But or like deities, I feel like deities and like just different spirit guides can come to you through like animal messages. But then I get acquainted with the idea of like a shadow, like animal totem. And so I'm like, sometimes if you are extra afraid of a certain type of animal, like sometimes it's an animal you extra resonate with, but sometimes it's an animal that you're like extra afraid of, which is like here to teach you an important message and be like an important part of like your kind of like karmic growth. And like your purpose in this lifetime can be like tied to that lesson that is like tied with that animal. So I always thought that was super interesting. And I'm like, I wonder like what, because both of these animals, snakes and spiders, are both very like powerful. They have such spiritual significance to, their beings. Like they're generally thought of as kind of dark, but they have such powerful messages for us as well.
Thank you for tuning in to Cosmic Connect. This week we were having some technical difficulties with our recording, so I decided to make an executive decision and break it up into 2 parts so that our audio and visuals were all synced up nicely for you. So part 2 will come July 12th, 2022 at 5:55 in the morning. You can find us on all social media platforms for the most part. Cosmic Connect the podcast on TikTok, Frenchie and Bloo on Instagram, cosmicconnect.frenchieblue@gmail.com. You can message us. We would love to hear from you. We hope that you all are having a fantastic 4th of July for those of you who celebrated that this year, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. We love you. Peace.